Hello, good evening everyone. A hearty welcome to this online session on thyroid disease in pregnancy by Tirupati Hospitals, Kadapa, Andhra Pradesh. I'm Dr. Sandhya, obstetrician and gynecologist from Sri Tirupati Hospitals. Today we have our expert infertility specialist, Dr. Triveni Kondareddy from Natsaraopet, Guntur, Andhra Pradesh. Welcome you, ma'am.
Thank you, Sandhya, for a nice welcome and calling me for this Instagram live, Facebook live, and all. Thank you, Tirupati Hospitals, and all the best.
Why is thyroid so important in pregnant women? Because thyroid is usually most of the times it is misdiagnosed and often not adequately treated. And the main reason for conducting this session is to create a thyroid awareness in pregnancy so that it can be a lifesaver for both mother and child. And before moving on to the topic, let us discuss about the thyroid physiology because there are a lot of physiological and hormonal changes that happen in pregnancy, especially related to the thyroid gland and thyroid hormone production. Why? Because there is increased production of estrogen in pregnancy, which can cause increase in production of T3 and T4 because of increased production of thyroid binding proteins. So the bound form of protein, that is the total T3 and T4, increases during pregnancy. And the pregnancy hormone, that is the HCG, human chorionic gonadotropin, it looks similar to thyroid stimulating hormone, stimulating the release of more T3 and T4. So, whenever there is more T3 and T4, it causes a fall in TSH because of the negative feedback mechanism. So, in the first trimester, especially when the HCG is more, it causes more production of T3, T4 and fall in TSH that happens especially between 8 to 13 weeks of pregnancy. And there is increased peripheral metabolism of thyroid hormones leading to decreased availability of free T3 and free T4 hormones. I have come across an article that was telling there is 25 to 30% incidence of thyroid disorders that includes hypothyroidism, hyperthyroidism, goiter, etc. in pregnant population and affecting the outcome of the pregnancy. So, how does it affect the pregnancy? If you look into this, the hypothyroidism is the most common thyroid disorder in pregnancy. The hypothyroidism, and most of the times, it is associated with preeclampsia, gestational diabetes mellitus, anemia, and it is also associated with various complications like postpartum hemorrhage, postpartum depression, and placental abnormalities like placental abruption. It can cause preterm deliveries and it can cause low birth weight babies, and it has a neurological impact on the newborn. It can affect the milestones. There can be delayed milestones, or the most treatable and the preventable cause of mental retardation is the congenital hypothyroidism. So there are lots and lots of complications that can arise in mother, in the fetus, and in the newborn if this thyroid disorder, either hypothyroidism or hyperthyroidism, if not treated in the pregnancy. So the thyroid disease in the pregnancy need to be screened, need to be identified, treated properly, and need to be followed up because many of the subclinical cases which are not treated in the pregnancy period, they might become overt hypothyroid in future. So these are the cases that need to be picked up. And let us start with the first question. One of the queries is from one of my close friends, and she is a software engineer, married for 6 months. She heard from one of her colleagues that hypothyroidism can cause infertility. Is it true? Can you discuss about it?
It's a very general question. So many people have this doubt whether this hypothyroidism is a cause of infertility. Okay, first, hypothyroidism never causes infertility. There is a difference between infertility and subfertility. Okay, where infertility is they will unable to conceive, whereas subfertility is just there is a delay in conception. Okay, why there is a delay? This thyroid is also because it's an hormone, so there will be a because of this hormone there is an anovulatory cycles. Okay, so because of the anovulatory cycles, there is a delay in ovulation. So as a part of it, there will be a delay in conception. Like similarly with obesity, in obesity, what will happen? There will be the anovulatory cycles, and there is a delay in conception. If you correct obesity, if there is a weight loss and all, they will become pregnant. And similarly, hypothyroidism is not a big issue. When it's correct, the thyroid hormone, correct replacement of levothyroxine, they become pregnant. And for the reassurance, we saw so many patients with the TSH 50, 80, 100 on correcting thyroid hormone within 2 to 3 months, the cycle become ovulatory and become pregnant. Okay, there is a it's a like a general misconception in the public.
How important is it to do routine thyroid screening in the preconceptional period and during pregnancy?
If you take like before 10 years, we never used to do the routine thyroid screening during pregnancy, but nowadays we are doing the routine thyroid screening in pregnancy. Okay, Wh- why is it important? That's what the question, no? As already you told, there are so many complications in the fetus and the mother, as like there is a requirement, especially in the first 12 weeks there won't be any fetal thyroid will be not produced. All entire hormone is depending on the mother. When there is a subclinical hypothyroidism, the fetus growth will be affected, like the developmental cognition, and even this cognitive development and the brain development, generally we can't recognize until the 3 years of the baby. Also after 3 years of the baby, if you follow it up, then we will be knowing maybe the mother, maybe the hypothyroid, and it's a very correctable cause. Okay, if you check the thyroid, if the thyroid levels are not in the normal range and all, we can we can correct it. Okay, it's a very correctable cause. Even for the maternal per se complications also, we will see generally if you not correct it, there is so many of abortions, there is a preeclampsia, hypertensive and all. So if you routinely screen the pregnant woman, like in the starting, in the each trimester at least once, we are able to correctly diagnose the thyroid, and by putting the correct dose of the thyroid, we can avoid fetal and both fetal and the maternal complications.
How to start the thyroid dosage and how to take the daily dosage? Is there any particular time to take the dose and how it should be taken?
When to take the thyroid is early general, we will prescribe them to take early in the morning on the empty stomach, and not to eat anything after half an hour, up to half an hour after taking the tablet. Why? Because there will be the diurnal variation. Okay, morning time generally there will be the, as it is a hormone, there is a pulsatile manner. Morning generally there will be the thyroid will be high, hormone, thyroid hormone. So we will, for to cope up with it, we will generally prescribe in the morning. If she forgot by taking the tablet, whenever she remembers, she can take the tablet. But it not, you should not become like a habituated. Okay, whenever she remembers, she can take it. Okay, then how much it dose and all you asked. The dosage and all, it depends upon her gestational age, what is the value, and what is the weight of the patient. Based on that, the obstetrician or the endocrinologist will put her on the right.
We have the next query, which is the most common query which every obstetrician faces in their OPD. I have a patient who is 4 months pregnant and she got her thyroid examination done and her TSH is 4.0 micro international unit per ml and she says it is normal as per the lab report and why she should be started on thyroid medication.
Again, it's a nice question, Sandhya. See, the normal values for the pregnant and the non-pregnant female, the same age, same weight, and everything will be same. Also, for the pregnant and the non-pregnant, normal values are different. Why? Because normal physiologically itself, what will happen? The HCG hormone, which will peak during 8 to 14 weeks in pregnancy, acts similarly as a thyroid hormone. So there is a transient reduction in the thyroid hormone, that is TSH level. Okay, so the normal value itself will be reduced in this pregnant woman. So the cutoff values also we reduce it during pregnancy. by seeing all this only, this Indian Thyroid Society, then Foxy, and even the American Thyroid Association, Europe Thyroid Association, everyone came to the opinion and they put the standards particularly for the pregnancy and each trimester because of the changing in this beta HCG. They put up the normal standard, that is in the first trimester 0.1 is the lower limit and 2.5 is the upper limit micro IU per DL, and in the whereas in the second trimester 0.2 to 3, in the third trimester 0.3 to 3. Okay, so in the first trimester 2.5 is the cutoff, whereas in second and third trimester 3 is the cutoff. Based on these cutoff values, then we will diagnose this patient is in the subclinical hypothyroidism or overt hyperthyroidism. Based on that, we will start the treatment, especially in the pregnant women, unlike in the non-pregnant women. Okay.
That is so well explained, ma'am. Okay, we'll move on to the next question. How to follow up hypothyroidism patient during pregnancy?
Is two things. Okay, prior itself she's a known case of hypothyroidism and she became pregnant, and then now after pregnancy she was as a routine follow up she was detected with the hypothyroidism. Okay, see, I already told the requirement during pregnancy increases, that is almost to 40 to 50%, because the fetus until 12 to 13 weeks there will be the no active thyroid gland, and the fetal uh, depending upon the maternal and all this, if the if it's a normal pregnant woman, this 40 to 50% increase the requirement will be coped up. Okay, but if she is a subclinical hypothyroid and already known case of hypothyroid, and then what will happen, the thyroid gland can't cope up this increased requirement of 40 to 50% of this thyroid hormone. Okay, T3 and the 3-4. So what we have to do, we have to cope up, we have to supplement the thyroid hormone, that is in the form of levothyroxine we will generally prescribe. Then how much it prescribe, we will, that is depending upon how much is the value, how much she is taking, and what is the weight of it, and what is the trimester, and how based on that we will correct the, we will give the thyroid uh, levothyroxine. Okay, then how to follow it up. Now the guidelines recently have changed. The following up is we can do often 6 to 8 weeks, especially in the first half of the pregnancy, because the first half of the pregnancy this beta HCG is keep on fluctuating and the requirement is also more keep on fluctuating. So in the first half of the pregnancy until 24 weeks we can do often, such that 6 to 8 weeks we can repeat and adjust the dosage. Once she comes in to the late half of the pregnancy, that is after 28 weeks, just once her TSH level will be enough.
How do we follow in the postpartum period? If the patient is already hypothyroid, how are we going to follow up the patient? Or if the patient is diagnosed with hypothyroidism for the first time in pregnancy, how do we follow up?
Coming to the postpartum follow up, what will happen, as soon as she delivers she will become the pre-pregnancy state. Okay, so the requirement which was accessed during the pregnancy, that is 40 to 50%, was cut off. So in there are two scenarios. One thing is already she would have been hypothyroid and became the pregnant. Okay, in pregnancy we would have increased the dosage. In such patient we can come back to the pre-pregnancy thyroid level. Okay, next, the second scenario is for the first time during pregnancy you would have recognized the hypothyroidism. Such patient we can stop the hypothyroid medication post pregnancy after delivery, and we can follow them up after 6 weeks.
Is there any particular time to give testing for thyroid sample? Because some of the people have been asking me recently, why should we give it as a fasting sample? Why not in the afternoon? Why not in the evening? So, is there any significance in giving the sample in the morning time? And what is the best time to give the sample?
Do at any time, morning, afternoon, or evening. Okay, but correct time is in the fasting sample. Why? Because again coming to the physiology, I told there is a it's a hormone. There is a diurnal variation. Morning and evening time there will be the peak. As the day passes on in the morning, there will be the reduction in the TSH. So what will happen? This overt hypothyroidism, like TSH, if it's more than 10 and all, they will come in the report. But what will happen? The subclinical thyroid state, like we talked about, 3.5, 4 and all, they can't recognize if you do in the afternoon and all. So to standardize that, what we are doing is we are doing all the samples in the fasting, so we can standardize the thyroid reports.
We thank you, ma'am, for joining us today and clarifying our doubts on thyroid. Thank you.
Thank you, Sandhya. I got a nice opportunity today, like on the hypothyroid day, to discuss with you regarding the hypothyroidism in pregnancy and all, which is very easily detectable, curable, and preventable of so many complications as we discussed. Okay, thank you once again, Sandhya, and all the best for the Sri Tirupati hospitals. Thank you.
And Sri Tirupati Hospitals, thank you everyone for encouraging us for this session. Hope we'll come up with more sessions in future.